Hello, everybody. Good morning or good afternoon for the one who are pretty far. We have the chance to greet Thai guy, so excellent. It's the last day of our webinars. We had many during this week, and I would like to thank the audience and all the participants for having sharing these moments with us. I would like first to thank you, and I have some elements to share with you, and I have some good news. The good news are that first, due to these moments, we have some time. I know it's a bit constrained, but we have some time, and it's a good time to think, to step back, to learn from our mistakes. That's my first good news of the day. My second good news is that you can reduce the uncertainty. I know the future is pretty dark, not very clear, but you have seen this this week attending some webinars that we have the ability to look ahead and to give you some light. And the last element is, sometimes we have this feeling, or you may feel this, that top technology or AI are not for me. And this should be banned, totally, because we have the ability to give the technology and to share it among everybody. We have been developing many things, and there is still for me some difficulties sometimes, feeling that, okay, because I'm a small company, the techno or the AI or the most advanced tools are not for my company. Yes, we have the purpose at WeYield to share it among everybody around the world, no matter if you are a small company or you are a big one. I'm Emmanuel Scuto, the CEO and founder of WeYield. I'm in this business for 20 years, dedicated solely to car rental revenue management. Our company is dedicated to edit software and give you some support. And we address this to our community of car rental operators, owners, either independent, franchisee, or corporate accounts. And usually, why the people are using it is because they feel the frustration between the type of information they have and the type of information they would like to have to increase their performance. So on the day-to-day, with my team, we try to bring you some tools, support, consulting, and the reason of these webinars is to share ideas, get some best practices, and enlarge our scope of knowledge. This week, you had the ability to get very interesting points from the various audience, and with Christian, you have seen that you are able to look ahead and reduce, as I said earlier, the uncertainty of the future. We have the ability to give you some more controls about the future. With Noemi and James, you got some best practice sharing that we collect among different clients, and we try to share it with you in order to give you some good tips, or just say, oh, that's interesting, look at what they are doing in Iceland, look at what they are doing in Caribbean islands, look at what they are doing in the west side of France. Potentially, I can try and I can do this thing for me too. With Natalie, with the fleet management, I think it was pretty useful to see how this, let's say, big constraint, which is the fleet management, can be also managed differently with more agility. She shared some tips, ideas. For me, I took personally that it's possible to manage both a new car under buyback or at risk, but also used cars in order to adapt sometimes to a last-minute constraint. And most of you have been experiencing this last minute during the last summer or your last peak period, depending of the area of the world where you are. And with Etienne and Antoine from Europcar Atlantic, we really saw that it is possible to face the situation, not with a big success, but at least to reduce the difficulties and to grow and to go through the storms with more equipment and more control. So now we start our last session. I would like to ask you to take maximum benefit of it. Would be to switch off your telephone and to go on the flight mode and to take some notes. Eventually could cut all the distractions you have, Slack, WhatsApp, email. You have the ability to chat with me if you want on the bottom right. And I will start with the audience a little poll. It will be really quick. I just would like to get your feedback. I'm publishing a poll which is upright. Normally you could see, and I'm just asking you a simple question. Are you worried about having lost the control? No? Okay, no, that's good. That's pretty enthusiastic. Some more. That's excellent. So you feel pretty convinced. And some, please, ask some more. Go ahead in your chat. So it's good to know that, let's say, a small majority saying that, no, I'm not losing the control. And some others are saying yes. So for the one who said yes, can you tell us where do you think that you lost maximum, or what is the feeling of this lost control? Is it because you have less elements to pilot? You are not aware of the future? What is worrying you on the chat? No predictability for the future for Peter, for Bulgaria. Okay. Some more comment. Marcos from Spain. Okay, totally agree. No predictability. I know it's a concern. Okay, we are not, we don't have a crystal ball, but at least we try to give you some elements to reduce this stress and predictability in order to be able to see a little bit more clarity for the future. At the end of this webinar, for the audience, I will have a special gift for you for free. So for the one who attend till the end, I will have this. Now I would like to start with the type of feedback we get from our various clients around the world that are mostly talking and referring to the concept and the core concept of the quality of the data we have. You know, we are a tech company with a lot of experience in revenue management. And our ambition, I was saying at the beginning, was really to share the benefit of all the state-of-the-art technology and the AI we can to you all. And there is 4 different elements. And before I start in the detail, I would like to show you something which is unfortunately still existing. This is the screen of a very famous operating system that some of you in the green world maybe know. It's a Greenway system. And we are talking of a system that still exists today like this. So let's say that the screen design does not give a lot. However, the problematic we have is like the difficulties of plugging those systems or to bring a lot of, to interface it with a lot of tools to give you more the hand. I'm focusing on Greenway, but we can look at WeYield, we can look at the various systems that is available. That is really a difficulty to plug. And nowadays, you know, with those Slack tools and Google Drive and everything which is connected, you just need a plug, and in a few seconds, sometimes maximum few minutes, it works. And for you, with the team we have, you know, we can plug any company in a couple of minutes to make your data available. Okay, try to. Okay, another example that is coming from a client. It's pretty actual and current. As you can see, the date on the top right is the the 11th of October, November 10. This is something that we find out. Okay, we have this contract that has been charged an extra mileage of 7,793 kilometers for a cost of 1,091 euro. Okay, but for a matter of fact, when it appears in the bill, the amount has been translated to 100,000 euros. Just a prime of certainly a comma that has been switched from one transaction during the flow to another one. But imagine what is the impact on the analysis when you receive this data. Okay, so today there is a lot of tools we are working with that are extremely reliable, and I've been discussing with these clients for the past 10 years. Okay, when are you going to change your bloody operating system? Okay, so nothing has changed so far yet, and is still facing some major issue like this. So we have many examples like this. You know, I've been working with a big corporate client who's running 35,000 cars, which is a big fleet. And when I was discussing with the director of revenue management, the guy said, okay, you know, I have to wait 2 hours every morning to have my data updated, because it's playing with a lot of macros and BIs and the system to run. So we plug our solution to him, and before he arrives at the office, he has already all the information needed to take his decision. We have another client in Denmark, and before we start working with him, he had a robot to do some rate shop scraping, but in fact the robot had two failures. First, it was not able to shop the brokers. It's difficult right now not being able to shop the brokers. And secondly, he had a lot of holes and mistakes in his query. So what he had to do, in fact, to fill the holes manually, going back on the website and collect the prices manually. It's a big waste of time that costs a lot of money. At WeYield, we try to give you the possibility, and we succeed really well, which is to shop millions of rate points every day for you. Because what? We do believe that the data collection point should not be a manual task. It should be automatized. So then you can concentrate on analysis and action. The second element which is important is the data aggregation. Okay. When you do things manually, in fact, you have to spend time analyzing all those various reports. Sometimes they are in different tables, in different systems. And you cannot, it's really hard to detect or to have some alerts. And sometimes it's not possible. And also you are overwhelmed with a lot of different operational tasks, meetings and fleet issues and staff issues and registration, blah, blah, a lot of things. So we have a client in Australia who is, we tried to make a manual forecast, and he's doing pretty well. The problem is that every day they have to manipulate the data. And when you look at the salary of the guys and you divide by the cost per hour, and you add on top the company charges, the various expenses, office and electricity and stuff like that, at the end of the year, it costs 25,000 euros just to manipulate the data. So when we look at this, it's a couple of minutes or hours per day, time 5 people every week of the year. And then there is no alert for that, because if you don't do the job, nobody else will do. So at WeYield, we think that aggregating those data together, build some intelligence on top, can help you to detect in advance some valuable information to anticipate your trend. And the third point is the data visualization. personally, I'm a graph guy, and in my team there is a lot of graphical guy. Why do we like graph? It's because it's quick to visualize and to analyze. It's much quicker than tables on which you have to go row by row, columns by columns. Sometimes you put some, let's say, Excel for conditional formatting, but there is a lot of time wasted. On the visualization also, we had some, we have some clients which are on the Swiss and Australia. And I remember having discussed with the owner of the company. And the guy said to me, you know, I'm organizing a meeting to achieve one goal, to talk about a problem and to set a strategy to achieve one goal. So I have around the table the guy from operation, the guy from finance, the guy from sales, and we discuss about the goal. And the three of them, they agree on the problematic, but they have a different angle of analyzing the data, because one is looking on the invoicing side, the other one is looking on the operational side, and the third one is looking on the sales side. And they don't have the same sum and they don't have the same total. And the guy said, okay, I'm fed up. I'm fed up for an hour meeting, having 30-minute discussion just on the type of data that the people, they're arguing each other that, yes, but you know, on my side, I think it's good this way. No, but on the other side, it's not good. The reason we do this, the purpose of WeYield, is to give you the access to one central information. No matter the angle, operationally side, per station, fleet size, per car group, per car type. On the sales side, per segment, per customer, you always have the same sum, the same total. So we are not an accounting system, okay? We do not pretend to do this invoicing stuff. We pretend to give you the ability to have a common and central vision of your data. And that's my last break, which is to analyze and decide. Everything is made automatic for you to be able to get this element of decision and action. Sometimes we feel, and I used to do this job, I was in your shoes, and Noemi was also when she was at Six France. We know what it is, not having enough elements to anticipate the trend. So our job for the analysis and the decision is not to give you what to do. It's not to tell you what to do. It's to give you all the elements in order to take an appropriate decision, okay? We are a kind of laboratory for you. And when the team of Christian built this forecast, it took a year. If you remember, we started the initial elements in the summer 19. It's a complex job. It requires a lot of time, effort, energy, and knowledge, competency. So yes, we are moving forward step by step with you to deliver you more elements to decide and analyze. One of our largest clients, which is in Sweden, said that we helped him a lot during the implementation of the revenue management. And during the COVID time, it was even more efficient using those tools to have access at any time from anywhere to all the elements to pilot and optimize. These elements and those pillars are based on trust. We think that the most element and the most important element to go forward is to believe in the data you have, the way they are aggregated, the visualization is done, so then you can analyze and take action. Okay, so these examples are showing you that we need to start, for the one who didn't start yet, the digitalization of these processes. And why that? Because they require more adaptability, agility, and we all have less resources. So there is no other possibility than to use the maximum power of automation to pilot, increase the performance, or stabilize it. So now I would like to switch to the last releases we have made over the last 6 months, because we have been working a lot. And Linda, we have different tables. The challenge is to take the right information and put it all together. Absolutely. And totally agree with you, Linda. Sometimes it's, we have all those elements and all the information is there, but you have to mix all of them and to also update the tables and run it and send some data to a BI, and then the BI runs, and then you extract the data to put it somewhere else. And also when you don't have access to this table because you are at home or you are away, visiting a client, visiting an agency, you don't have necessary access to this. And also, it's not sometimes shared among the company. We have clients in west side of France or in Sweden could see how many users they have. It means that everybody as a station manager, regional manager can have access to this data. So we elevate the knowledge, we elevate the concern of everybody in the company. And Etienne emphasized this yesterday at Atlantic. It's really important that everybody has the same level of information at the same time in order to be responsible for its own part of the situation. So let me switch now to the what we have done over this the last 6 months, because there was a lot of new developments released. Christian pointed out this week much in detail, a lot in detail, what has been done by the team and Thibaut and Johan, and also the team that helped us during this year, the data scientists that help us to build this demand forecast based on AI, so in artificial intelligence. And we really work with our clients that want to test it in order to fine-tune it and find some the best possible accuracy. We think that being able to give you between 90, let's say, to 95% accuracy 4 weeks in advance, it's pretty good. But take this into account. It is a system that works totally automatic. So you may believe that, oh yes, but on my side I do better. 10 days before I can reach 95%. Yes, but what is the energy you put in order to reach this element? And how do you compute the accuracy of this forecast? And we have nothing to hide at WeYield. We want to share, on this page that you see is a control page on which we challenge the type of forecast we provided to the actual figure. And when it's not good, so we discuss with our business analyst or the owner to say, we should play on this element. It's a kind of pragmatic approach. We don't believe that we'll send the next shuttle on a Mars planet. Just want to give you some automation that will save part of your day. We also release in spring a new table to analyze quicker your demand. Because of the graph, you have one dimension, and Johan made a great job in order to build this tree map. Sometimes it's a bit complex to see, but instantly you can have an overview on your 5 main dimensions, which are the fleet on the left, the geography, the market segments, the durations, and the key dates. We are red, we are late, we are green, we are in advance. That's pretty clear. And then you can drill down, and the level of the box is the share of the business that is impacted positively or negatively. So it's a tool that gives you to have, in a couple of minutes, understand where I have a problem. And the problem can be a positive. Maybe I'm going too fast, okay? And so it needs to be, there is maybe an opportunity to increase my price or to do something else. So again, we want to give you the possibility to have access quickly to maximum level of information in order to identify where you should put more effort. This is the tree map. I need to switch, okay? The element also that I'm really satisfied, and Johan and Charles made an excellent job, which is what we call the pricing pace, the price elasticity. Noemi and James has been pointed at this this week during their webinar, which is the correlation between the price evolution for a given departure date. Here we are looking at the 10th of October. Okay, we can see that how the price of my price and the market price has evolved over time here, and correlate this to how my demand has been picked up and how my own RPD and my fleet as well has changed. So honestly, this does not exist anywhere else. Okay, and again, it's possible to do it, but as Linda said, how complex it is to manage all these elements. For sure, when I was talking about data collection at the beginning, my first brick, if you do not shop rates, the price correlation will be useless, okay? So we need to have a permanent feed of data to make sure that whenever you are going to analyze a particular date, either for the future or to step back and say, how I did my last summer, how I did my end of summer season, then you can understand what happened, how the price of the market has impacted your demand, but also how my own pricing reaction has impacted my demand. And sometimes we do some erratic price change without any impact on the pricing pickups, the volume pickups, except a drop in RPD. And Noemi and James showed this week. Something also that has been done by Thibaut, which was something extremely good, is to recompile all the fleet evolution we have. So as you know, we store every day a snapshot of your fleet. And for various technical reasons, we are just displaying the snapshot of today, no matter if we are looking on the booking history on the top or the last 7-day difference. Now we can display here how my price for a given period, how my fleet has changed over time. And as a pricing manager and a revenue manager, that when you know that this fleet will be X 3 months in advance, and closer to the arrival, either the fleet picks up or goes down, that has a major impact on your day-to-day activity. And we also display, we also display how the fleet has changed over the last 7 days. As we can see in this example, how my fleet has changed. Apparently, for that week, I have a fleet increase over the last 7 days, while here I have a fleet decrease. How is it impacting my day-to-day piloting? Now we can display it. That was a great job done by Thibaut. And Christian focused also with a lot of details about this new module to reduce the uncertainty for the future, which is how I can have some external exogenous data. And one of the most important is the air bookings. So now we are plugged, thanks to our partnership with ForwardKeys, with the GDS passenger data. And so we can correlate the booking patterns of the air versus the booking patterns of your car, both on rent versus on stay for the air, or by checkout or arrivals. So you can contact your CSM in order to subscribe to this option for the key airports you would like to focus on. And Johan made a a great job on this. Technically also, it's something that you do not really see, but you can experience. We made an extremely good job, and Alexandre was putting a lot of energy for this, which is to run a new infrastructure. It's giving us a lot of much more speed, because now we can go up to 20 times faster than before. So when you are a small company with a couple of hundreds fleet, you don't really see it. But when you run like a couple of thousands and up to 30, 50,000 cars, you really feel it. And for the clients who have a lot of history in rate shopping with us, it was also really beneficial for them to have this new infrastructure. And we continue to do this. We have a new project also to review the way we have coded in order to go even faster to prepare a bigger client to join us. And because we want to give you and to share some elements to elevate your knowledge about the market, Christian has released last month a new tool that is available for everybody that we call the Market Trend. And we gather all the client databases we have on an anonymous way for sure. There is no ability to see who is inside and see the brand, etc. But by geographical areas, we give you the trends of the pickup, the bookings, the RPD, the level of cancellations, here the fleet evolution, the utilization, and the number of reservations. Again, we think that if you have more information to take your decision, it is easier to reduce this uncertainty, as we were discussing at the beginning. And to understand the past, also we released we're about to release this new tool, which is the Car Perfect, the Car Performance Index. In that case, it's not by geography, like on the big scale, but it's really dedicated to your own market. It can be a city, it can be a region, it can be a country, and then you can compare yourself with your competitors. For the time being, we will manage the competitors we put inside in the basket to make sure that the data or the volume is pretty consistent and avoid some discrepancy in terms of size. It's working extremely well, and our beta tester find it so useful. It's something that exists in the air, that exists in the hotel for many years, that now we have decided to implement for you. So it's called the Car Performance Index. What now is planned for the upcoming, let's say, roadmap for us? Okay. So, because it has been difficult, and the time of the COVID is something that is pretty unusual. But as Natalie said yesterday, it's also something that happens pretty regularly. Our system was set to compare only with the previous year. So 2020 is now compared with 19, but however in 21, we think, and you think, so our user thinks that it is not relevant to compare with the year before, which will be the COVID time. So we have been working on a tool which is currently under development, which is to compare, to change the reference date. Okay, so as you can see, you will have the ability to compare with a year, not to a previous year, but to a year that you prefer to set. Okay, and that will have an impact on the way the graphs are set and all the computation are made. So it's something that will be released due to the fact that there is a major database impact for all the computation results. For the time being, the option will be activated by us. So you have to tell us what will be the reference date you would like to shop. It will not be on the go on your side. That's something that we are working on, but as the beginning, it will be managed by us internally, and we plan to release it by winter 20. But as you can see, it's moving pretty well forward. Today, we still have an alerting system, okay, that give you the ability to set some messages in order to say, okay, on this particular market, please alert me when my price is greater or slower or lower than the most expensive or the cheapest of the market, the cheapest competitor by X% for particular rental days on a particular area. You can also do it by utilization. You can do it by to check, to alert if your utilization is in advance, or if you reach a particular level of utilization. That needs to be set by you, okay? And you have to prepare your messages, and you can deactivate it, and you can really be precise. However, we think that also by the time that is consumed every day for you, it's difficult to have a vision, a clear vision, or where do I have a problem? Okay, because mostly you are concentrating on your key stations or your key car rental car types, but something may happen that you do not point out. I remember having a discussion with Guillaume in Morocco and said, with my IFMR, so my 7-seater or 5-seaters, IWMR, I need to pay a lot of attention because the level of bookings is sometimes pretty early, and I don't have a lot of capacity on this car. So I need to set an alert, but sometimes I would like to be informed. Am I going too fast? Am I going too slow? Potentially it's the beginning of a period. So it means we would like to have a much broader intelligence to push some alert. And this is what we are working on. That is called an insight. And it will be an automatic detection of event situation. So how does it work? Our system works with an automatic key period identification. Okay, so we looked at all the dates and we identified some key periods where you expect, compared to the previous years, a high level of utilization or something which is pretty bad. Then the second phase, as soon as we have these calendar elements, then we will check on which area, geographical area, there is potentially a problem, for which type of car, for fleet, on what type of segment. Okay, so we have a period, then we have a what, it will be a location and or fleet and or segment. Then we need to sort these elements. In order to identify one insight that will be pushed every day, we have decided to sort this impact by revenue. So where we have the highest potential revenue impacted, it will be extracted and displayed on an insight for you every day. Let me show you how it will look like. So Charles is in charge of this great project. So we will have various elements. It will be concerned, for sure, we'll have some insight regarding the elements of the data, but more interestingly, we'll have some information regarding fleet or booking paces. Let me focus on this. Okay, for example, in this one, we have identified that the period from the 16th to the 22nd of November, okay, is late. So last year, you had already 100% reservation for this period, okay? And this year, you don't have the same level. And as you can see, there is a filter mode here to select, or do pay attention to this test because it will be the type of filter that we propose. It can be either a fleet part, it can be a geographical area, or it can be a market segment to tell you this, okay? In that case, be careful of your fleet for this particular period of time. You will have, you are currently an estimated fleet utilization which is over 90%, 80%, okay? So this system will generate automatically some alerts for you that we call an insight, because it's not be designed by you, it will be designed by the system automatically. The concept, again, we know you don't have a lot of time. We know that you're under resource constraint. We know that you have a lot of different tasks to manage. So we want to give you the possibility to have access to the power of the intelligence in order to guide. If you have one action to do today, you should pay attention to this period for this type of criteria. And because it has a maximum impact on your fleet, we know that, and you know that if you action just one thing today for that particular insight, you will have a maximum benefit for your revenue increase and your performance. Do you like this new insight which is ongoing? Is it something that rings the bell, that resonates for you, to give you more elements of decision and enlarge your scope of analysis? Okay. Very interesting for Peter. Thank you. Marcos, also from Spain. Okay, what is for you the main endpoint? Being integrated via XML, will the system insert the rates directly into the system? Always the same question, always the same question. Then I want to go somewhere else. I take this, Marcos, as granted, and I will continue, and I will show you why we think your comment is good, but is a little bit in advance. I continue on my... Linda is typing from Italy. Okay, let's wait for her comment to come. Anybody else about this insight? Feedback? Linda said, okay, it's interesting, but I'm worried too much importance is given to a particular year. Yes, but as I said, the product, the development before also was, okay, you will be able to set a particular reference date that will not be the year before, that will be the year you prefer to set. That can be 2 years before, 3 years before, up to you. And then the system will compute it automatically. But for sure, the insight will be based on this year activity, because you need to take a decision for the future. So this is a kind of summary of all the features we have now available. The vertical axis is, let's say, today. On the left is the ability to understand, analyze the past. So we have the booking and fleet pace, we have the pricing paces to see how the market prices have changed over time for a given departure date for you and for your competition. Everything related to a reporting, even related to the fleet info, because as Natalie said yesterday on her webinar, the RPU, the revenue per unit, is a very important indicator to look at the performance of the fleet. And we have this car performance index to compare yourself with your competitors, your direct competitors on your market. For the future, we have the booking, fleet, and cancellation, so you're able to anticipate what is going on and how it will impact the future. You have the rate shop analyzer that collects automatically for you the prices on your market in order to not lose any pricing positioning. We have the demand forecast that gives you the window for the upcoming 4 weeks. And then we have the next 6 months with the air analytics and the booking estimates to give you a kind of taste, a kind of element of understanding on how is currently the future, how my air passengers are booking for Christmas, for Easter, and potentially next summer, and make sure that my pricing is accurate. For the future also, we share the market trend that are for you to have a kind of, let's say, very macro feeling and understanding on how the situation is currently among all the current old operators we are working with. And I come back, Marcos, to your comment. And as you can see on the filigrane behind, everything is based on trust. And that's the reason why, as of now, we did not start a project to have automatic rate loading, because for us, it's the end of the process. If you do not believe in the way the data are collected, if you do not trust the way we aggregate and visualize this data, so then you can take some decisions and measure the performance. Then, if you do not believe or do not trust the demand forecast, say, okay, the system is telling me this, I should pay attention to it, I should analyze and take a decision to measure the performance. Same for the insight, say, how smart it is. Let's give some time in order to analyze this particular insight. What's the point of giving you a rate recommendation? You will not believe in it. So we need to build this trust together in order to make sure, yes, the demand forecast is good. I trust it. The insights are really smart. I have all these exogenous elements, parameters from the world. The next step will be rate recommendation. We propose, or we think you should increase by X, or you should reduce by this, or potentially also an inventory control, which is to close this, to push more this. When we say close, we say not only for a car or a station, it is also for an account, for a market segment, as we saw here with Etienne and Antoine. And as Noemi said last year during our presentation at the forum, it is possible to put in place some inventory restrictions for these guys, which are the lowest contributors to you. When this rate recommendation will be set, then we can go to a rate loader. But now there is some technical elements in order to have a connection with all those distributors and the operating system from the brand. I know you are an independent car rental company, but for the brand, they have also to connect with Greenway, Wizard, Hertz, Cobra, etc. For 2021, the two main projects will be for us to build the WeYield Academy. We strongly believe that you need, and your team especially, need some support to have some, let's say, learning purposes, to have some pedagogy things available for you to improve and to perform better, but also for the owners of the company to make sure that under a progressive approach, the team who is in charge of the optimization has the minimum knowledge and skills in order to perform good and better. And to answer Marcos' comment, yes, we start the project of rate recommendation. We have the fleet. We have the rate to tackle. Christian has been starting this with one of our largest clients in Sweden to say, okay, according to the demand forecast, what could be the ideal fleet plan you could put in front in order to reach 85% utilization? So yes, we are moving forward, okay, but it's a long process that requires your trust into the data and your trust into us to say, yes, okay, those elements are good for my daily business. I can put more automation. I can, tune it on and put more power into the automation. Voila for this part. I have a great team to do these changes, and they are really committed, and they know a lot. As you know, they are in contact with you, and they like being in contact with the clients in order to fine-tune, adapt, discuss, improve all the things we have put in place. The last element I would like to share, this is a little tip that I've just figured it out, because in these difficult times, we have a lot of and we need to think differently, I would say. And And when I said, okay, we need the current tool operator, they need to change, they need to transform the way they do, honestly, I adapted it to me as well. So I take some time to say, okay, how can I do better? How can I change internally the way I work? We have some administrative project ongoing with Anne-Claire to say, okay, how we can bring more automation in our day-to-day, because these things happen every day, every week, every month. Okay, when I've done it like a couple of times manually, how can I do it automatically? Is there anything that I can do? Yes, we try, we test, we implement, and we measure. But there is something which is also very important, is the way our brain works. Okay, and if I asked you this morning to switch off your telephone and your emails and stuff like that, I don't know if you all did it. I don't know if you really be concentrated on that, but you know, our brain works that we have a lot of difficulties to make a lot of various tasks at the same time. And I know in the morning, you have a lot of things to happen operationally, and the fleet and the various stuff, the email that came during the night. That's really sad, because in fact, in the morning, this is where our brain is the most efficient during the day. So personally, what I do now, okay, is really I have a little graph to show you what is the best timing of the day to analyze and take a decision. And our brain is more efficient between 8 and 10. Is it the time that is taken on your side to think, analyze your data, and take pricing decision or optimization? Or is it this time, which is sometimes taken by meetings and emails and stuff like that? And then you have the other period of the day, definitely around the lunch, and after the digestion is the worst. So also at the end of the day, PM could be okay, but this is the best time of the day to take a decision. So maybe something that you could try to, not today because it's too late, but next week, say, okay, I will take those 2 hours, 1 hour from 9 to 10, whatever, to switch everything off and just to analyze my data without being disturbed by anything else. And you will get the maximum result on your performance and the maximum level of energy in order to pilot better. That will be a fantastic competitive advantage, in addition to all the automation we give to you to take this decision. Voila, this is the end of my my webinar. Is there any particular question you would like to ask? There is not a lot of time. I'm sorry I've taken too much. I will be quicker in French this afternoon. Any particular comment from the audience? Hopefully, I hope that it rings the bell and it open, or you know, this little voice that says, "Oh, you know, it's not for me. I should not do it. Let's do a try." Do not hear this little voice in your head, and just start the transformation and the change. I thank you again for your participation, and I wish you an excellent day. And hopefully we will be able to discuss together, or with Noemi and James very soon. Dario is typing. Okay. Just before the closing. Thank you very much, guys. Laura, good ideas to share. Thank you. It's nice. Very good tips. Thank you, Dario. I wish you a very good day, guys.